Hey, this is Trey again, and I've got another update here for CFL. Now, even though I'm showing Fallout 4 in the background, everything that I'm going to be doing in this video will also apply to the Skyrim Special Edition version of CFL. So let's jump right into it. Starting with the new depth of field options. You've got a quality adjustment here, and this is basically just your render resolution, with 1 being quarter resolution, 2 being half, this being 3/4, and this being full resolution. It works similarly to SSAO, which I currently have set to half resolution, which is perfectly fine. So if you want to set it to that, you can set depth of field quality down to 2. All of this works pretty much the same way. The new features here, we have tilt shift mode, which basically just blurs either end of the screen, and you can adjust the blur curve by adjusting aperture here. So lower values will pull the blur closer to the center, and higher values will push it closer toward the top and bottom. Or actually, I should say the outside edge of the blur, because you can, in fact, adjust the tilt shift axis. So if you set it to say like 90, you'll get a perfect vertical blur on the left and right edge. Set it back to 0 and you have a horizontal blur on the top and bottom edge. Aperture is a handy adjustment. Even though aperture is not necessarily the right term when you're thinking in terms of tilt shift, I've just got it tied to this for ease of use. But anyway, this is a handy adjustment because if you have letterbox enabled, you can actually turn around and pull this deeper into the image to get more of an effect. Because if this is pushed too high, it can actually be totally behind the letterboxing. Obviously, if you're going to use tilt shift, you kind of want to be able to see it working. Okay, let's come down here. We have a new age feature in the color grading section. So as I push this up, you will see the image has been sort of aged and sepia toned. And you can select an age mode. Currently there are only 2. One is like a generic sepia, and mode 2 is kind of a magenta fade. And that about covers it for the new features. Now I'm going to go over some of the new looks that I've included. But before we go over those new looks, I need to let you guys know, Triax 400 and Sepia Tone have been moved out of the vintage section, as well as XX 5222, and they've been put into a new looks collection called Mono. So let's start with the new looks. We have Agfa Scala 200, XX 5222, T-Max 3200, Triax 400, Sepia Tone. And the infrared looks are kind of cool. Basically what they do is they're trying to emulate what infrared film looks like. And infrared film is basically film that's designed to pick up wavelengths of light that your eye cannot see. So for example, a characteristic of infrared film is it takes blue colors, at least when you're trying to emulate them. It'll take blue colors and darken them, and green colors get really brightened. So you can see here, as I toggle on and off, the sky is getting darkened quite a bit. And if we go over to, this is Ilford SFX 200. If we go to Codec HIE, the effect is even more drastic. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you play with this, but it's cool for, interesting special effect shots. Now, before anyone says anything, as I toggle between Ilford SFX 200 and Codec HIE, keep an eye on the right side of the screen. Okay? You see the blur here? And on HIE, it goes away. This is because while I was creating the LUT to emulate Codec HIE, I found that the Chromatic Aberration looked really weird when this LUT was applied over the top. So I've basically disabled Chromatic Aberration completely for Codec HIE. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Everything below infrared is pretty much color graded mono film stock. So you've got Gotham, which is sort of a purple and yellow look. Heath, sort of a green and pink. Hunter, kind of inspired by camouflage colors. Mary, sort of a red and cold blue highlights. And Nemo, where we've got some dark bluish green and yellow highlights. Sorry for the quick and dirty nature of this video, but wanted to get this out there quickly so that I could go ahead and upload the update. So that about covers the new features and some of the new looks. Anyway, guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. And if you celebrate nothing, just have a good December. And I'll catch you in the next video.